Sarawak PDRM prepared for both monsoon and election. Water sports events makes way for Sarawak tourism, and Budget 2023 better emphasis on rural development. Those are the headlines for tonight. I'm Shosha Meto, and this is TVS Nightline. A total of 7,063 officers will be assigned to all 31 parliamentary constituencies in the upcoming 15th general election. Sarawak Police Commissioner Datuk Muhammad Azman Ahmad Sabri said it was in fulfillment to security control during the election in Sarawak without any help from the peninsula.
Okey, untuk pilihan raya GE 15, PDRM Sarawak pun telah membuat persiapan secukupnya dan kita telah menyediakan kita punya penugasan seramai 7,063 orang pegawai dan anggota, dan kita mengambil iktibar daripada penugasan semasa pilihan raya negeri pada awal tahun itu. Ya, kita telah siap sedia PDRM Sarawak.
He explained that it also includes the Marine Police Force, the Air Force, and the Kuching Police Training Department. Azman also said that the experience during the state election was taken into account to ensure proper preparation. He said this during the media conference at Police Headquarters Sarawak Contingent in Kuching on Friday. During the Sarawak state election last year, a total of 7,000 officers were assigned to all 1,866 voting centres statewide. He also noted that the police has prepared 1,633 officers for the East Sea monsoon. It also includes various assets are on standby.
Dan jumlah keseluruhan pusat perbelanjaan sementara yang kita telah sediakan dan telah dikenal pasti iaitu 631 tempat daripada 12 bahagian negeri Sarawak yang boleh dimuatkan seramai 188,360 orang bangsa banjir. Jadi, tanggungjawab PDRM dalam berdasarkan MKN adalah Majlis Keselamatan Negara 20, membuat kawalan ke atas harta benda penduduk yang terkesan, mengumpul segala maklumat yang tepat berkaitan dengan kejadian kepada pihak-pihak berkenaan, memberi bantuan kemanusiaan bersama agensi lain, dan tindakan sebelum, semasa dan selepas semua berkaitan dengan isu keselamatan.
The iconic water sport event in Sarawak, the regatta, is set to take place on November 4th to 6th. Promises excitement, especially competing teams who are determined to be crowned as the king of the river. Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Datuk Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah said that the water sport, in conjunction with the Kuching Waterfront Festival, has received overwhelming response.
Penyertaannya memang macam tahun-tahun yang sebelum ini, yang mana dia melibatkan acara-acara Praud Bida lah, VIP lah, ada 14 acara kesemuanya. Tapi acara-acara tu dia ada sampingan saringan-saringannya sendiri. Sebab itu ya dia adakan untuk 3 hari.
Abdul Karim said this after leading the main committee of Sarawak Regatta Kuching Waterfront Festival paid a courtesy call to Yang di-Pertua Negeri Sarawak Tun Pehin Sri Abdul Taib Mahmud at his official residence in Demak Jaya on Friday. The call was intended to invite Tun Pehin Sri Abdul Taib Mahmud to attend the closing ceremony of the event. At the same time, Abdul Karim also informed that the International Dragon Boat Regatta event also returned after 2 years of hiatus due to the pandemic. It will run from October 28th to 30th, involving more than 2,000 rowers, including participants from the United States, Cyprus, Iran and Georgia.
1 minggu sebelum Regatta Sarawak akan diadakan International Dragon Boat Race. Dan International Dragon Boat Race untuk tahun ini telah mendapat penyertaan sambutan yang begitu hebat sekali. Ya, 16 negara terlibat. Kita terpaksa hadkan kepada 16 kerana kalau kita bukakan lagi makin ramai.
Meanwhile, the TYT Anniversary Celebration 2022 also paid a courtesy call to His Excellency at his residence. Led by the Minister of Transport, Datuk Seri Lee Kim Shin, the call was to invite Tun Pehin Seri Abdul Taib Mahmud to attend his 86th birthday celebration to take place in Miri from October 7th till 9th.
With a week to go before the tabling of Budget 2023, Sarawak is hoping for a sizable allocation for the sustained development, especially in rural and suburban areas in the state.
Harapan saya lah dalam bajet yang akan datang ini lebih banyak lagi peruntukan keseluruhan peruntukan pembangunan kepada negeri Sarawak. Seperti yang kita tahu pada tahun 2022, bajet untuk tahun 2022 peruntukan sebanyak 4.6 bilion. Itu peruntukan pembangunan. Jadi kita harapkan pada kali ini kita mendapat lebih lagi lah. Kalau dapat lebih daripada 5 bilion. Sebab kita masih lagi memerlukan banyak peruntukan untuk membangun negeri Sarawak.
The Tanjung Manis member of parliament noted that his parliamentary still lacks basic infrastructures such as clean water, road and network connectivity, which requires much funding from the government.
Jadi ini sangat-sangat diperlukan untuk kawasan Parlimen Tanjung Manis. Jadi saya harap dalam perbelanjaan ataupun dalam bajet 2023 yang akan datang ini lebih banyak lagi peruntukan untuk kawasan luar bandar di Sarawak, termasuk di kawasan Parlimen Tanjung Manis akan diperuntukkan oleh kerajaan pusat untuk ini. Sebab kita memang sangat-sangat memerlukan peruntukan ini.
Met at the Jualan Keluarga Malaysia at Kampung Belawai on Friday, he also hopes that the budget 2023 will be more people-centric to help ease the people's economic burden battered by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Koperasi Koperkasa Sarawak Berhad is currently developing a housing project in Matang, which involves 800 residential units, which will be implemented in 5 phases until 2028. Its chairman, Fatih Hambali, said the project will be launched in November this year by the Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, which is for those in the B40 groups and Koperkasa members, adding that it would give an advantage to Koperkasa members who would enjoy a price reduction from market value.
Kita memaklumkan bahawa kita punya housing project kita di Jalan Matang akan kita lancarkan sedikit masa lagi, dan kita telah menjemput YB Premier untuk melakukan pecah tanah kita pada bulan November yang akan datang. InsyaAllah kalau everything is going smooth, kita rasa dengan adanya pelancaran projek perumahan kita nanti, dan kita pun memohon untuk some additional untuk kita realign kita punya pembangunan, dan kita akan juga memfokus kepada kumpulan itulah sasar kita lah, B40 dan ahli-ahli keperkasaan lah akan benefit daripada projek perumahan kita. Ada pasar, ada beberapa 5 pasar, dan mungkin yang kita lancarkan ni yang ongoing dah ada, tetapi kita cuma next one kita akan lancarkan dalam 100 lebih unit lah, 1 lebih unit, dan itu adalah mengikut harga pasaran, dan mungkin ahli-ahli kuasa akan mendapat sedikit diskaun lah, special diskaun untuk harga itulah.
He said this when met by the media after paying a courtesy call to the Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, at his office in the Sarawak State Legislature Dun Building in Kuching on Friday. Commenting further, Fathi said his party also plans to develop an apartment with 200 house units. The matter has apparently been agreed in principle when he met about 30 minutes with Abang Johari.
Lepas itu mungkin kita nak alignment kita berhasrat untuk menambah nilai kepada projek kita. Kita akan membuat apartmen apartmen dalam mungkin dalam 200 unit target kita untuk harga yang below market price. Itu mainly untuk ahli-ahli kompresor. Dalam projek pembangunan. The coming one. So insyaAllah kalau kita resubmit balik kita punya proposal dengan State Planning Authority dan YAB secara prinsipnya telah memberi green light untuk kita submit. So insyaAllah kalau itu berjaya, at least kita dapat memberikan nilai tambah kepada ahli-ahli kompresor dan juga penjawat awam negeri dan persekutuan.
In addition to real estate, Kopakasa will continue to explore various fields and value-added projects to generate one-time income to contribute back to its members. With its latest development, it will be able to benefit more than 25,000 registered cooperative members throughout the state of Sarawak, involving state and federal civil servants.
Moving on, Sarawak Police will not hesitate to take legal action against any individual who spread false information in regards to the school kidnapping cases that went viral in social media lately. The warning was issued by the Sarawak Police Commissioner Datuk Muhammad Asman Ahmad Safri when asked to comment on the allegations of the kidnapping cases at two schools in Padawan and Samarahan district, reiterating that the two aforementioned cases had caused anxiety and civil unrest among the public.
Dengan ini kita pun telah menggerakkan kita punya elemen-elemen di bawah itu untuk melakukan rondaan di sekitar kawasan sekolah, terutamanya melalui pegawai perhubungan sekolah. Dan saya minta supaya masyarakat tidak panik atau gusar bila nampak ataupun kelihatan anggota-anggota polis dan elemen-elemen polis di dalam rondaan di kawasan-kawasan persekolahan, dan minta masyarakat untuk mendapatkan kenyataan ataupun yang tepat melalui mana-mana balai polis sekiranya mendapat maklumat-maklumat mengenai kegiatan-kegiatan ataupun kes yang melibatkan colik di sekolah. Saya dengan itu mengesahkan bahawa isu ini tidak berlaku di Sarawak ni.
He said this in a media conference at Police Headquarters Sarawak Contingent in Kuching on Friday. Previously, a post went viral on social media when it allegedly claimed that a student was almost kidnapped at a school area in Padawan last September 26. In addition to that, a similar allegation of an attempted kidnapping with unknown individual offering sweets to students at a school in Green Road in Kuching on September 28. Azman also said that those found guilty of spreading fake news will be taken action under Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act 1998.
A cafe owner suffered injuries to his head and legs when an underground gas pipe exploded along Jalan Kuangtung on Friday afternoon. Miri Fire and Rescue Department Acting Chief Ahmad Nizam Saapai said the team received a distress call at around 2:23 p.m.
Setiba di lokasi kejadian pada jam 2.25 petang, pasukan Balai Bomba dan Penyelamat Miri mendapati dinding di bahagian dapur premis kafe telah runtuh dan keadaan dapur berselerak akibat impak letupan gas yang kuat. Runtuhan itu telah mengakibatkan seorang mangsa lelaki pemilik kafe berkenaan cedera akibat dihempap bongkah dinding konkrit yang runtuh.
The victim was rushed to Miri Hospital. Following the incident, the cafe has been closed to allow for further investigations to be carried out.
The National Council of Women's Organizations (NCWO) hopes that Budget 2023 would address the gender gap in employment, the uptick in unpaid care work made worse by the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as improve the social security protection and access to rights and justice mechanisms. Its President, Professor Emeritus Tan Sri Dr. Sharifah Hapsah Hassan Shahabuddin said investment in the childcare economy also needed to be stepped up to support women's employment.
According to Sharifah, Budget 2023 should encourage working from home and more flexible work arrangement for workers in both public and private sectors. For example, staff can go to the office on rotation or staggered hour basis. Despite the increase in the use of contactless and digital technology during the COVID-19 pandemic, she said there were issues of availability, accessibility, and affordability for women, especially those in the rural areas and in the B40 income group. She said NCWO would also like to see higher tax reduction for purchase of digital devices, increased internet coverage, especially in the rural areas, and increased number of Pusat Internet Community (PIK) across the country with 24-hour Wi-Fi, to better integrate the new digital economy and the new lifestyle. Meanwhile, Academy of Sciences Malaysia fellow Dr. Madeline Burma said Budget 2023 needed to focus on providing targeted subsidies to women in the B40 income groups who are heads of households to help ease their financial burden. She said Budget 2023 needs to be gender conscious in every national recovery program, as well as provide opportunities to generate income. While proposing that Budget 2023 introduce incentives for the establishments of cooperatives in low-cost housing areas such as flats. Madeline said incentives could also be given to households who engage in smart agriculture or urban garden cooperatives.
Coming up right after the break, Malaysian Prime Minister keeps promise to elevate Bahasa Malaysia. And a suicide attack in Afghan killed at least 19. Right here on TVS Nightline, stay tuned. Welcome back to the Nightline. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob kept true to his word by using the national language at the 77th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York. According to the chairman of Dewan Bahasa and Pustaka Board of Governors, Professor Datuk Seri Dr. Awang Sarian, the Prime Minister did not only uplift the Malay language at the ASEAN level, but also at the United Nations General Assembly, the world's largest diplomatic convention.
It was the first time a Malaysian leader delivered a speech in the Malay language concerning various international topics such as climate change, food security and conflicts in Ukraine, Myanmar and Palestine. Awang Sarian also said that while English is important, but the native language is far more important as it shows our identity and it is our pride. Selangor Youth Council President Datuk Muhammad Imran Tamrin said the Prime Minister made a very clear message and brought a Malaysian identity to the world stage. Imran Tamrin also expressed his appreciation to Ismail Sabri by consistently voicing out on the Palestinian issues and the Palestine-Israeli conflict. In the past, Bahasa Melayu was recognized around the world, and history has proved that the language was widely accepted as a lingua franca by Spain, Portugal, England, Netherlands, Persia, Arab, and India.
India and Malaysia can collaborate in various fields in the defense industry on new emerging technologies that ranges from supply of complex defense platforms such as ships and aircraft or new technologies like artificial intelligence and quantum technology. According to the High Commissioner of India to Malaysia, B.N. Reddy explained that the similarities in organization structure and ease of communication make both countries interact more meaningfully.
Reddy also said that New Delhi was looking to intensify its engagement with Malaysia on multilateral exercises, regular exchange of military personnel, defense research and development, and defense industrial collaboration. It also includes to providing alternative sourcing for maintenance, repair, overhaul, and spares. He explained that the defense cooperation between the two countries is guided by the Memorandum of Understanding (MOU) on defense cooperation, which was signed in 1993. He also pointed out that the military connect between Malaysia and India had been in existence since India's pre-independence era. Reddy said this in an interview in conjunction with the 65th anniversary of India-Malaysia diplomatic ties recently.
The sudden exchange in supply and demand in some ASEAN markets, which are home to many Muslims, have established unprecedented good fortunes for Vietnamese exporters. According to industry insiders, Beyond World Company is teaming up with the Investment and Trade Promotion Center of Ho Chi Minh City to visit Malaysia to explore the halal market.
Beyond World Company Director Kelly Luang said that many exporters are looking to provide halal product to Asian markets after a seminar on promoting exports to Malaysian market. The company was contacted as it has successfully connected several Vietnamese company agricultural and food processing enterprises, including big brands such as TH True Milk and Bidrico, to sell their products in Malaysia. Currently, Malaysian market has raised the import quota for Vietnamese rice to 700,000 tons annually due to Russia-Ukraine conflict, which stopped the wheat exports. Indonesia is also one of the lucrative imports market for Vietnam, which the former has a population of 270 million people. Many Vietnam businesses viewed Indonesia and Malaysia as an easier market than the Western countries due to similar culture, geographical distance, and are advantages for the Vietnamese goods to penetrate the market.
Thank you for staying with me. And now on to world affairs. A sudden suicide attack at a tutoring center in Kabul, Afghanistan, killed at least 19 people and wounded dozens. It was said that those who died and wounded were believed to be mostly young women. Currently, there is no immediate claim of responsibility for the blast.
Another eyewitness, Ahmad Jawed, was standing near to the blast when it went off. Recently, there have been a string of attacks in Kabul that have claimed dozens of lives in the past weeks. Previously, in August, an explosion at a mosque during evening prayers killed 21 people and injured many more.
Indonesia on Friday said it has granted emergency use approval to an mRNA COVID-19 vaccine developed by a Chinese company, becoming the first country in the world, even China, to do so. Indonesia's Food and Drugs Agency green-lighted the use of Wellvax Biotechnology's mRNA vaccine, which has been in development for more than 2 years and it targets the original strain of the coronavirus.
The approval comes as a surprise as Wellvax, which has been conducting large late-stage trials of the vaccine in several countries including Indonesia, Mexico and China, has yet to publish efficacy readings that would show how well it can reduce the risk of COVID cases and deaths. Rebranded as Alcona, Indonesia's Food and Drug Agency said the vaccine is 71.17% effective against the highly contagious Omicron variant and 83.58% against wild-type coronavirus strain, considered normal and common.
Vaksin Alcona atau Alcona nantinya akan diproduksi di Indonesia melalui transfer teknologi mRNA, sehingga kedepannya Indonesia dapat memproduksi sendiri vaksin COVID-19 dengan platform mRNA.
It was not immediately clear how widely the newly approved shot will be used in Indonesia, where more than 63% of its population is fully vaccinated. Health experts around the world also recommend using so-called bivalent COVID vaccines, which targets both the original strain and Omicron variant.
The UK Royal Mint on Thursday unveiled the official coin portrait of Britain's new King Charles. The first coins to bear the King's portrait are a special £5 crown and a reverse of a 50p coin commemorating the life of Queen Elizabeth II.
The effigy was created by British sculptor Martin Jennings and was personally approved by the new king. In keeping with tradition, the portrait of Charles faces in the opposite direction of that of his mother.
It's a very significant moment for us at the Royal Mint and for the British public as a whole, because what we're seeing is the first official portrait of King Charles, and in addition to that, we're also marking the service and dedication of Queen Elizabeth II over her many years on the throne.
The reverse of the £5 coin features two new portraits of Queen Elizabeth, while the reverse of the 50p coin features a design that originally appeared on the 1953 coronation crown. The image of Charles will begin to appear on coins in circulation and on commemorative pieces in the coming months. All of the approximately 27 billion coins currently circulating in the UK bearing the portrait of Queen Elizabeth will remain legal tender and will be replaced by coins bearing the image of Charles over time.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. Just head on to our official website at tvstv.my or follow us on our social media platforms. That's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. I'm Shal Shamato. Thank you for watching.